I never lied where I came from. Texas had its place for me to find a home deep in my soul. I must know the world as a whole.
Hey everybody, this is your old buddy Teddy Long. I'm here at the Creative's Cornerstone. It's a little glimpse into the beautiful backdrop we got going here, staircase. Fellas are putting the cameras together. I'm excited to be here. I'm going to play some songs. I'm going to get interviewed. Whole 9 yards. It should be a great time. Tune in. Hi, I'm Teddy Long. This is Creative's Cornerstone, and this song is called $1,000,000. I was out from your first heart attack, feeling like $1,000,000. Funny how you could slip through the crack, never really know what it was. But you've been walking this tightrope, waiting on a sign, holding out for new hope, and it's changing the times, but you gotta find something to hold on to. You gotta find a reason, push on through. You gotta find something to hold on to. You gotta find a reason in you. Reason in you. Lost another good friend today. You didn't see eye to eye. All the things he believes in, you think are lies. Funny how you think you know someone till it's their time to shine. It's all just a rerun and a waste of your time, but you gotta find something to hold on to. You gotta find a reason, push on through. You gotta find something to hold on to. You gotta find reason in you. Reason in you. Reason in you. Reason in you. I was out from your first heart attack, feeling like $1,000,000.
Hi, I'm Carol Coburn, and this is Creative's Cornerstone. This week, my guest is the awesome Austin artist. Say that fast 3 times. Teddy Long. Teddy, welcome to Studio One.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So glad to have you here. I was brought into the realm of Teddy Long. Maybe I wasn't brought into you, but you were brought into my realm when I interviewed Boudreaux Partida. Mm-hmm. And he had done a music video?
He did, yeah. We shot a video over the... I've known Boudreaux for a very long time, since he was doing TV with KI, and he's been making films and doing cool stuff for years.
Right.
And I'd always wanted to make an actual video that wasn't like a live kind of thing.
It was a beautiful short story mini movie.
Yeah, it was. It took us like a year to really make that thing.
Wow.
Like We didn't.
Wow.
I didn't have the budget all the time. It's kind of the story of my life. But we just putting it together, the time frame, the pieces, the shots. It took quite some time to do. But yeah, it was a great experience. I think he made a wonderful video.
He did. We play it occasionally on our. We feature indie artist music videos, and Boudreaux had sent it to me and
awesome.
said, "This is one," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I just loved the story, and the way it was recorded, and of course the music and the song was just fabulous.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
and that's how I was introduced to your music, was through Boudreaux.
That's great. Yeah, he's great. And also I think that video is a different kind of thing for him. He makes horror movies.
I know he does. Oh my God.
And he shoots like crazy dark stuff. And this is dark in its own right, because it is kind of it's a road story, and it's a song about a guy wanting to just kind of be at home, and having to go work a little bit, and
a life full of goodbyes, because you're doing what you need to do.
For sure. Yeah. No, Boudreaux's awesome, for sure.
He is, and so is that song. So how long have you been putting this music out there into the universe?
Well, I've been doing this since I was like a kid. I grew up, my stepfather played saxophone, and was in quite a few projects, sort of a weekend warrior dude. Always had a job to do, but then on the weekends would be gone playing shows. And so I grew up doing that and learning from that. But I moved to Texas about almost 20. I've been living in Austin for about 20 years.
Awesome.
And my wife and I had gotten done with college. We went to a small state school in Western New York. And we were living in Buffalo. I grew up about an hour south of Buffalo, a small town called Bemis Point. And my wife was from Rochester, and we were kind of just bumming around, bartending, not really knowing what we were, that transition period after college where you're like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with my life, And she had a degree in Spanish, and wanted to work with migrant workers. And I had a degree in psychology, and was like, I'm not really going to probably do anything with this unless I continue my education.
I'm going to shrink my friends.
So I was like, I had learned about a songwriter here in Austin named Scott Byram. And he was calling himself the Dirty One Man Band, trucker band. And I had seen him a few times, and I thought to myself, like, if there is a place where this music is being made, I want to go there. Like that, I'd never been here before. That was like, it was mind blowing and eye opening all at the same time.
Wow.
And he had played on, he does a lot of solo stuff, like kind of, he's got a stomp board, he calls it, and he plays it through a big bass rig, and it's loud and it's distorted and it's just like aggressive. But then he'd have these like beautiful songs on the album with a full band, and the band was the Weary Boys. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of them, but they're used to be a huge band here in Austin too. And I was just like that kind of dichotomy of the two of that the like aggressive thing and then these beautiful love songs with this band. I was like, this is a magical thing, and it changed my life. And so that's how we kind of ended up here. It was either this or Chicago, and we did a coin toss, and it came up Austin, and we ended up here.
That's where I'm from, is the suburbs of Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
my wife had an uncle there who well, he might have had some mafia ties possibly or whatever, but but
everybody from there knows somebody.
Yes, it was always a very fun time when you go to Chicago, and so I've often thought maybe our life would be a little different if we'd ended up there, but no, we ended up here, and we sold all of our stuff, and we packed up our 2 cars, and I mean that was 20 years ago when you didn't. I remember printing out our trip on like MapQuest, and we had you didn't have your phone. It was a very different time, and we had thought we had an apartment, and we called, and they were like, oh, sorry, we gave your apartment away a week ago because we thought you guys were coming. And we were like, and I had a friend who lived here, and he called them, was like, hey, I got some people that are coming down there, Do you think they could stay with you for a little while? And that he was like, yeah, of course, we'll put him up. Such a magical.
Yes, and I realize there's a lot of, I don't know, a lot of dirt right now on Austin as far, from the locals about the change and the transitions.
Sure.
And there are a lot of amazing historic places that are going by the wayside. And I feel the pain of that too.
Yeah.
But Austin, the community, not the big corporations, but the communities are so solid and so awesome.
Very much so. It's
and
still
so
here.
welcoming, that especially the creative community. I mean, everybody, I imagine, and I could be way off, and those in the know, I apologize for my ignorance here, but I would imagine that the creative experience, the community that Austin holds, is probably a lot like, dare I say, California, where you got all of the people there working to be doing this thing.
Sure.
And that builds that community. Everybody understands where you're coming from and where you're trying to go. And it's just a really good, supportive thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a pretty small pond when you get into it. There's everybody knows somebody. Who
exactly
who's doing
right.
this.
Yeah. It's an awesome place to be. So
No,
good for you.
Yeah.
I've been here about 20 years myself, so I know exactly the time that you.
There was a very different city then. Like the Frost Bank Tower was the tallest building,
and the unicorns in Austin are like, oh, you think it was different 20 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. You should have been here 40 years ago for sure.
Yeah. But we got here as quick as we could.
Right. True.
All things considered. Right?
Yeah.
Very good. So. Do you play, and I'm learning about you as our viewers are learning about you, my viewers. So do you play in a band? Do you play solo gigs? Do you do both? I know today that you're here as a singer-songwriter solo.
Sure, yeah. I do both. Full band shows to duo shows with kind of my partner in crime, Jason Caviola. Him and he was my roommate in college. I was like,
nice.
I lived here for a little, maybe a year or two, and was like, dude, you need to come here and play in a band. We'll play in a band and we'll do this. And he's an absolute exceptional guitar player, and so him and I work together a lot as a duo since COVID. It was a lot easier then to kind of transition from that, from like band shows back into being in the world again, and it was easy for us to kind of set up in little restaurants in the corner somewhere and, make it easy. There's no overhead with that,
Exactly,
so that's kind of something I've been doing a lot of, but I am also doing a lot of solo stuff. That's kind of been an exciting kind of endeavor for me, because I've always had a band, or I've always had somebody else playing with me. So you feel pretty naked when it's just you and a guitar a lot of times.
Tell me about your album here.
Yeah, the record.
Let's bring this up here and into view.
Yeah, that's my first vinyl, which I am incredibly proud of. It's taken a very long time to make that thing happen. I've been sort of, I was talking with a buddy of mine about it, and there was a period, I think I was about 8 years old, and I remember being with a friend of mine, and we were listening to the Bruce Springsteen Born in the USA album, and I remember holding that record and looking at the back cover of it has him. He's got everyone thinks it's a hanky, but it's an old baseball cap sticking out his back pocket. And I just remember wanting this, so badly. I wasn't sure how I was going to get there, but I knew someday I would get there. And here we are.
It's a good looking album here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's called Head for the Hills. And I recorded it here in town. With a good friend of mine, a great producer. His name's Lang Freeman. He has a studio called Folger Studios in South Austin. And we made it with some really, really super talented musicians, kind of backing us up on it. And originally it had started out as kind of a Bruce Springsteen-esque Nebraska-style record where it was just myself and a guitar, and we recorded in 2 days. We recorded 10 songs.
Oh my gosh.
No click track, no nothing, just me in a live room with the guitar and a microphone. And those are the tracks that are on the record. And then as we started going into it, it was like, man, it'd be cool to have, a little pedal steel here or some percussion stuff and he's like, oh, I know Fred Manduano, who is a guy I dreamt about playing with. He's like, we can work with him. And Fred came in and laid down the most incredible percussion stuff. He calls it Perkland.
This was a true journey. This album
100%.
was a true evolution of
100%. Yeah. And then we got Brian Douglas Phillips came in and played pedal steel on it, and he's another amazing producer in town. And of course, my buddy Jay, who I mentioned earlier, played on it, and Lang played a ton of stuff on it, and it just became this huge thing that originally was just going to be very small and
very simple.
It's it's a beautiful record, and I'm incredibly proud of it. Yeah. Sure.
Well, I'm excited for them to hear it. I know they got a little flavor of you at the start of the show,
Sure.
and we'll be featuring your music in about 3 minutes. I want to ask you, though, I understand that you're going to be touring.
Yeah, I'm in the process of booking a tour, a quick little run up to New York and back down.
Quick little run. That's like across the country.
Yeah, but it's split up because my kids spend a month up in New York in July with their grandparents. And so my wife will fly them up there. I will drive 5 days up, play 5 shows on the way.
Nice.
Spend 8 to 10 days in New York with my family, probably play a few shows up there as well, some hometown stuff. And then 5 days back down. So not, it's a 10-day run if you want to break it down like that. But
and now will those spots be listed on your website,
they
which
will
we're going to
be.
get? Because
we're still filling spots at this point,
Okay,
so
super.
nothing is. We
Solid.
have some anchor dates, but there's
Right.
nothing. But it should be. I'm hoping in the next couple weeks to have it officially booked and ready
Perfect.
to go. Yeah.
And what is your website so that people can keep an eye out for it?
TeddyLongMusic.com will get you just about everything you need to know. Teddy Long Music. Get you all the social media stuff, the YouTube, all of it. Yeah.
And we were also discussing before the camera started rolling about the fact that this is not at this point in your life a full-time gig that you.
No, I wish I could say it was.
Sure.
I still bartend. It's the one skill I learned in college. I've been doing it forever. I manage a little bar in North Austin. A few nights a week, Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and then I gig the rest of the week. So
Wow,
that's
that
kind of
sounds
how
like a good setup.
It's a pretty good gig. I've worked there for a very long time. I'm very fortunate to have those guys in my corner. Yeah, it's been a great job to have. Hopefully this year though, we're trying to transition away from it. So we'll see.
Yeah, awesome. And then what do you do in your off time when you're not doing the music thing and tending bar?
Life is pretty full, pretty jam-packed.
Sure.
I have become the coach of an 8U Little League baseball team, coach pitch team for my youngest son, kind of purely by chance. No one else was doing it, and I was like, well, I have these 2 days that we can do it. We're kind of the bad news bears of this league as far as
They can only go up then.
they can only go up. Most of them are everyone's like 6 years old, so we're playing up quite a bit against some. I swear yesterday this kid drove himself to the baseball game, this team we played yesterday.
Oh my God.
But
This brings back these memories of Little League. My
man.
son was in Little League from T-ball
Sure.
up until he was about 13.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's a lot. I grew up in the North. It's very different. Sporting just in general now, kids sports are very different than what I grew up with. And I we had one bat for the team, and everyone used the same bat, and it was long, and so you had to choke up on it if you were shorter.
oh, right.
Every one of these kids has their own bat, if not 2 bats and bags and gloves, and it's a very different thing now than what I remember. But it's
really
been
a lot more competitive too.
It
The
is
parents
much
are
more
just
competitive.
really
The parents can be a little ruthless.
invested in their 6-year-olds.
Sure, yeah,
Future.
Like, come on, there's not a D1 scholarship on the line. Leave this ump alone. This guy, But no, it's been really fun and getting to see these kids kind of grow from we're like at mid-season now, and we scored 3 runs yesterday. We scored 2 last week. We had scored 0 up until this point.
You're totally trending up.
So we're getting better. We are getting better.
And what's the name of the team?
We are the Maynard Jays, the Jays.
Maynard Jays.
Yes,
All right.
yeah.
Well, I know that the Jays are going to do Maynard proud eventually.
I think so. We've got a few years ahead of us for sure. But we're going in the right direction.
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you what, it has been such a pleasure getting to know you and chat with you here. And I think that we've teased people long enough, made you wait. It's kind of like the old ketchup bottles, anticipation. That's a reference that millennials will not get because they're used to, instant gratification.
Yeah.
So he's worth the wait. Check him out. You'll see him in just a minute. Stay with us.
Don't be false or untrue. It all comes back to you. Open fire on my burning heart. I've never been lucky in love. My defenses are down. A kiss or a frown. I can't survive on my own. If a girl walks in and calls her name in my heart, I'll turn and run away. Every day we've all been led astray. It's hard to be lucky in love. It gets in your eyes, it's making you cry. Don't know what to do, don't know what to do. You're looking for love, calling heaven above. Send me an angel. Send me an angel. Right now. Right now. Send me an angel. Send me an angel. Right now. Right now. Empty dreams can only disappoint. right now.
This next song is called Life is Hard. I shot this video, we talked about it earlier, with Boudreaux Partita. It's a road song. Every time I close my eyes, I see the same old thing. That little tiny house on the corner of Glowing Star and Quick Stream. My wife and child in the front yard, watering that stubborn grass. Yeah, every time I close my eyes, I see the same old thing. Years been tough, but they roll by oh so fast. Each one quicker, a little bit hotter than the last. There's times when I wondered if we make it, then I know we will. Yeah, the years been tough, but they roll by oh so fast. Life is hard, you live off songs. The road ain't easy and the nights are long. If you bet on anything, you bet you were wrong. Life ain't easy, you live off songs. The son says, Daddy, when you gonna come back home? Me and Mama were just sitting here all alone. And he wants to know how the gig's been, if they're treating me right. The son says, Daddy, when you gonna come back home? Boy, I wish I was sitting with you tonight. Instead of this cold, dark room, this crowd just don't feel right. No, I think about quitting and coming home. Boy, I wish I was sitting with you tonight. Life is hard, you live off song. Road ain't easy and the nights are long. If you bet on anything, bet you were wrong. Life ain't easy, you live off song. Ooh, ooh, finally pulled in just a little bit past 4. The weight of the road rolls off as I walk through the door. Kiss my boy on the forehead and I thank the Lord. Yeah, I finally pulled in just a little bit past 4. You know that first morning home, breakfast never tastes so good. Them over easy eggs and the bacon cooked like it should. My boy's got syrup dripping from his chin, and my baby, she's a humming the tune. Yeah, that first morning home, breakfast never tastes so good. Yeah, that first morning home, breakfast never tastes so good. This song's called Small Town Summertime Throwdown. Give me some gas, bum me smoke. It's a party tonight, the end of the road closed. 2 or 3 kegs, that's all that I know. Come on, fill her up, man, bum me smoke. It's gonna be a good one if the cops don't show. Like last time and the time before. Well, they took all the beer, but let's all go. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one if the cops don't show. It's a small town. Yeah, small town. There ain't no secrets in this little tiny town. Everyone talking sun up to sundown. It can't be stopped once word gets around. Oh yeah, spread like a wildfire in this here town. I bet the Codwells and the Naps, they'll be at it again. When there's no outsiders, you fire within. All week long, they're the best of friends. But you come Friday night, they'll be at it again. It's a small town. Yeah, small town. It ain't been the same since that young man drowned. Horrible sadness hanging over that town. Put a girl in a wheelchair and then in the ground. Changed a whole lot of lives when that young man drowned. It's a small town. It's small town. Give me some gas and bum me smoke. It's a party tonight, the end of the road. This next one's called How Billy Mitchell Wound Up Dead. Something gotta give, 'cause it don't feel right. Strange wind blowing in the night. Someone will be dead with a bullet in their head long before the morning light. Tommy loved Mary with all of his heart. Ain't nothing that he wouldn't ever do. He said, I gotta go work in the next town over. Be back in a week or two. Mary was a school teacher, pretty as a plate. She could turn her heads everywhere she go. They'd been together for what seemed like forever, even though her mom and daddy said no. She was walking home alone late one night when that Metro boy came rolling home by. And he slowed to a crawl and she heard him call, hey baby, let me give you a ride. She said, no thanks Billy, I'm doing just fine. My house is just right up the road. He said, I know where you live, Mary, don't play dumb, get in, girl. Come on, let's go. Yeah, something gotta give, 'cause it don't feel right. It's a strange wind blowing in the night. Some will be dead with a bullet in their head long before the morning light. She stopped to talk and turned and started walking just fast as her legs could go. She heard the engine rev and tires start to give, and he hit her with the driver's side door. And then he took her limp body deep in the wood, took the one thing he never could get. And he beat her like a slave and he dug a shallow grave, but Mary wasn't quite dead yet. Yeah, she climbed out the hole, stumbled on home, cleaned herself up the best she could. Then she sat at the table, she thought about Tommy and how this could never end good. Then she made up her mind that he could never know. She settled it on her own. Took the rifle down, grabbed a couple extra rounds and set out for Billy's home. He lived alone in the woods, so he'd never see it coming. She could hunt him by the pale moonlight. Mary was a good shot, even though self-taught, knew it fired high and to the right. Billy came home, drunk and alone, laughing about the things he'd done. When she called his name, he heard nothing but pain. Last thing he saw was that gun. Well, she dropped him where he stood. Billy never had a chance. She buried that bullet in his head. Yeah, she sent him to hell, and she will never tell how Billy Mitchell wound up dead. Yeah, she sent him to hell, and she will never tell how Billy Mitchell wound up dead. Tommy and Mary married 1 year ago. Mary buried Billy where no one ever will know. This next one's called Head for the Hills. It's the title track off my new record. It's 24 degrees in the morning heat. That's too cold for Texas for this time of year. California's burning, yeah, the hills are ablaze. People turning to the Bible like it were the end of days. He looked up from the paper and gave me a smile. He said it's all gone to hell, been that way for a while. I said, what you gonna do, how you gonna survive? He says you gotta leave the city, you wanna stay alive. You gotta get you a gun and head for the hills. Dig you away, hell, go sharpen your skills. Gotta grow your own crops, gotta eat what you kill. Gotta get you a gun, man, and head for the hills. When you flip on the TV, all you hear about is a wall. When they finally build it, it's gonna protect us all from what that is, though they just don't say. But when you don't know your neighbor, you're always afraid. So you get you a gun, you head for the hills, and dig you away, hell, go sharpen your skills. You grow your own crops, gotta eat what you kill. Gotta get you a gun, man, and head for the hills. Yeah, you get you a gun, man, head for the hills. Then COVID-19 brought that 2020 curse. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, some psychopath cop murdered an innocent black man. Sent our country into a daggum tailspin. Gonna get me a gun and head for the hills. Dig me away, hell, go sharpen my skills. I'm gonna grow my own crops, I'm gonna eat what I kill. I'm gonna get me a gun, man, and head for the hills. I'm gonna get me a gun, man, and head for the hills. This one's called He Didn't Get the Best of Me. I said I don't love you anymore, and baby, I don't know if I ever really did. All the lies that you told me, all the stories that you fed me, I believed them all, but I was a kid. Now 20 years deep, the bottom of the bottle, when I finally floated up to the top. I heard you screaming down the hall and banging on the wall, and I knew that it was time to stop. I'm gonna be free, you can't take that from me. I'm gonna be free, you didn't get the best of me. I just turned 40 and I'm starting all over. when I thought about going back. For a very brief moment, fooled myself into thinking maybe it wasn't that bad. Then I looked in the mirror, saw the scars on my face and the pain welling up in my eye. And I knew right then, no more last time again, this was forever goodbye. I'm gonna be free, you can't take that from me. I'm gonna be free, you didn't get the best of me. I'm gonna be free, you can't take that from me. I'm gonna be free, you didn't get the best of me. I'm gonna be free, you can't take that from me. I'm gonna be free, didn't get the best of me. No, I never got the best of me. No, I didn't get the best of me.
Teddy,
Yes.
thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Will you let our viewers know, your website again?
Sure. TeddyLongMusic.com. Teddy Long Music will get you just about everything you need to know, all the socials, the YouTube, everything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks again, y'all. I hope you enjoyed Mr. Teddy Long. And check out his EP when you have a chance. It's good stuff. Go to his website, find out about his tour in a couple of weeks. And till next time, we'll see you then. Bye.
We hope your new realtor plays drums in a band. We hope your new dentist is its front man. We hope live music always makes you proud. Just don't call the cops if you think it's too loud. South by Southwest. We hope you like it so much you'll move here just like the rest of us non-native Texans.